Welcome back, everyone, to our Bible study series. Today we will be diving into Ephesians Chapter 2 to explore the powerful concept of horizontal atonement and how the cross transforms relationships within the church. So let's get started. Ephesians Chapter 2 from verse 1 to 3 reads, "As for you were dead in your transgressions and sins, in which you used to live when you followed the ways of this world and of the ruler of the kingdom of the air, the spirit who is now at work in those who are disobedient. And all of us also lived among them at one time in the past, gratifying the cravings of our flesh and following its desires and thoughts. Like the rest, we were all by nature deserving of wrath." Meaning, we were all once engrossed and lost in the ways and conventions of this world, orchestrated by Satan and indulged by our passions and corrupted appetites. Consequently, we were separated from God, from God's people, and we were oblivious to the gift of salvation offered by God. Succinctly put, we were once without Christ and were strangers to the covenant of promise. Moreover, there was profound hostility that existed between the Jews and Gentiles, and that includes us, characterized by derogatory name-calling. But all of a sudden, Jesus happened, and that changed everything. Today, we Gentile believers who were once far off are now reconciled with God as legitimate sons and daughters, making us brothers and sisters to our Jewish brethren. At the core of this reconciliation and restoration is the resolution of interpersonal disputes among us, so we can be united in purpose and action. What to remember thus far? 1. The cross not only healed the rift between Jews and Gentiles, but also speaks to the power it holds to mend any divisions in our interpersonal relationships, especially within the church today. 2. In extension, when next you see a brother or sister in sin, remember you were once in exact same place before grace found you. Be more empathetic and redemptive than judgmental and punitive. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 14 and 15 reads, "For he, Jesus himself, is our peace, who has made the two groups, the Gentiles and the Jews, and has destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility." But how? Well, by setting aside in his flesh the law with its commands and regulations. His purpose was to create in himself one new humanity out of the two, thus making peace. What exactly does this mean? Let's dive in and find out. So, if this text is read in isolation, it might seem to be suggesting the abolishment of the law. But there cannot be sin without the law, for sin is the transgression of the law of God. And if there be no sin, there will be no need for forgiveness, hence no need for Jesus. And we all know that's not true. So now, moreover, on several occasions, we see Jesus in very clear terms validating the law and its continuity. This text must therefore be interpreted in context and in consonance with the rest of the Bible. For instance, verse 11 to 14 gives us a clue of a strong separation between these two groups, the Gentiles and the Jews, even within the temple. Verse 15 must therefore be referring to the breaking down of all such barriers, especially the misuse of the law by the Jews to create divisions. This is not about the law, but its abuse. What to remember here? 1. The cross erases all such restricting or limiting barriers, ensuring full access to God for all believers regardless of their background, status, or race. 2. The cross not only destroys hostility, but creates a new humanity characterized by reconciliation and peace. This peace goes beyond the absence of conflict and aligns with the Hebrew concept of shalom, wholeness, and well-being in all our relationship with God and with others. And it's our responsibility to share this with other people. Ephesians Chapter 2 from verse 19 to 22 reads, "Consequently, you are no longer foreigners and strangers, but now fellow citizens with God's people and also members of his household, built on the foundation of the apostles and prophets, with Christ Jesus himself as the chief cornerstone. In him, the whole building is joined together and rises to become a holy temple in the Lord. And in him, you too are being built together to become a dwelling place in which God lives by his Spirit." This text uses the metaphor of the church as a temple to symbolize unity between Jews and Gentiles. Gentile believers, once excluded, are now an integral part of the new temple, the church. This temple metaphor emphasizes the sanctity of the church and God's active role in its growth. Instead of a static image, the church is a living and growing body, sustained by God himself. Now here are your takeaways for the week. 1. The cross of Jesus brings reconciliation and peace in our interpersonal relationships, breaking down all barriers and uniting believers from all walks of life regardless. 2. When next you see a brother or sister in sin, remember you were once in the exact same place before grace found you. Please be more empathetic and redemptive rather than judgmental and punitive. 3. As we experience the power of the cross in our lives, it is our responsibility to extend same to other people, fostering unity and love, especially within the family, and extended to the Church of God. Thank you for joining us today. And remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. I'll see you next time. If you have any questions or insights about the topic today, please feel free to leave them in the comment below. And hey, do not forget to hit the notification bell so you will never miss an update. Until next time, may God's peace be with you. I remain your Sebastian Dodo, and I'll see you next time.